of parts. I have taken only 3 parts having housing, gears, and shaft. This is just an example. This I have used it for a training purpose. The housing, the component in the housing of a gearbox is having a cost of 3,213, and which contributes to 48% of the overall cost of these three. And gears is having 1,714 rupees, and shaft is having 727. Okay. So first I need to understand which is the highest cost contributing factor, and you need to list down. Okay, and we should list down all the parts that are involved in the gearbox. So here I have taken only just 3, just for a training purpose or just for understanding purpose to explain to you. So what is the function? What are the functions of a gearbox housing? Okay. The basic function of a gearbox housing is to protect component. Gearbox housing is having inside the housing, it is having a lot of components like gears, shafts, etc. So what is the basic function of a housing? The basic function of a gearbox housing is to protect component. One verb and one noun. You have different functions of a housing. It should meet specification, it should withstand vibration, it should maintain integrity, it should resist corrosion, it should maintain strength, it should ensure reliability, durability, safety, appearance. It should also connect components. Even the housing, it should identify brand. Who is the supplier for the housing? Okay. For that, it should identify the brand. It should also prevent leakage. It should withstand load. It will also receive force. It should also withstand resist environment. It should meet standards. So you need to list down all the functions of a gearbox. Sorry, all the function of a housing, which is a part of a gearbox. And next is the gears. What is the basic function of a gear? The basic function of a gear is to transmit power. So, and you have different functions apart from transmitting power. It transmits torque, it generates rotation, it ensures reliability. So you need to list down other functions of a gears. Similarly, the shaft. What is the basic function of a shaft? It transmits power. In addition to transmit power, it also transmits torque. You need to list down all the functions similar to what you have done for gears and housings. Okay, now you are going for a technique called a fast diagram. It's nothing diagram. So whatever the functions you are randomly written in the random function, you need to put it in a structured manner called fast diagram. This is the fast diagram. It is having one left scope line and one right scope line. First, you need to list down what is the basic function of a part. What is the basic function of a gearbox? Okay, so gearbox may have housing, gears, and shaft, but here you need to list down the basic function of a gearbox alone. Okay, the basic function of a gearbox. Okay, and then what are all the secondary functions you need to list down? But you need to list down using how technique and why technique. When you go from the left scope line to the right scope line, you need to apply the how logic. And when you go from the right scope line to the left scope line, you need to apply the why logic. And these functions, what you're going to fill here, it should come from the random function. And I asked the question why to the basic function it becomes higher order function. And lower order function is the least possible function is required to achieve the standard function and basic function. You have the project objective. These are all the functions that are required to achieve the project. And a one-time function which involves the functions which are required one time. Say for example, ensure warranty. All these are one time. Or protecting the product. Say for example, if the brake or suspension, if it is coming from a tier 1 company to OEM, basically the tier 1 company they are going to ensure you warranty at the same time. They are going to pack it in a more safer manner. They are going to protect the product and they are going to send it. So all these are one-time function. So all the time function involves a function which are required before you selling the product to the customer. Okay. The enhance appearance or ensure safety or reliability, durability. So all these are a few examples of all the time function. Let us go with the fast diagram for a gearbox. The basic function of a gearbox is to transmit power. Why to transmit power? When I ask the question why to the basic function, it becomes a higher order function. So why I need to transmit power to enhance appearance? So the higher order function is the higher order function is enhance performance. The basic function of a gearbox is to transmit power. How to transmit power? By transmitting torque. How to transmit torque? By generating rotation. How to generate rotation? By transferring force. How to transfer force? By receiving force. How to receive force? By applying force. I'm going to apply force to the gears. The gear receive force. Why to receive force? To transfer force. Why to transfer force? To generate rotation. Why to generate? Why to rotate? It should transmit to increase my performance. So here you follow how logic and why logic. And this is a lower order function, this is a higher order function. And project objective indicates the objectives which involves meet specification, meeting standards, leakage, prevent strength, prevent leakage, providing strength, durability. So all these functions you need to list down here. And one-time function is, for example, ensure warranty. And all the time functions you need to list down all here. So here, what is the advantage of this is that so phase is nothing but a creativity phase where you are going to create ideas considering the function. So for example, for transmitting power, what are all the ways? Here, I'm going to create ideas considering the function. So this will help me to increase my number of ideas at the same time. I'm not going to compromise on the functions. Okay. So value is nothing but function by resource or function by cost. So cost is one aspect and the other aspect is function. And when you look at the functions, you are going to do ideas or generate new ideas using the functions. And next is nothing but a function cost worksheet. Okay, this is a bit difficult for you to understand this at this time because you have very limited time. I'll just give you an overview. So here I've taken an example of a gearbox having a housing, gears, and shaft. And housing is having a 57% of the overall cost. 30% of the cost goes to gears, and 13% goes to shaft. And these are all the different functions that you have that you got from the first diagram. Okay. So now here what to do is that you need to allocate the cost for the individual functions. To receive force, you need to spend 36.6 rupees out of this 3,213 of the overall housing to achieve the function called receive force. To prevent leakage, I need to spend 54.9 rupees out of the overall cost. You need to for individual function, you need to allocate the cost, and this allocation is possible only if you have the support of your cross-functional team. Okay, so that's why you involve the costing team, sourcing team, purchase team, suppliers also, because suppliers will give you the correct data with respect to the cost. Okay, there can be some transparency will be there, and again this will help you to understand or eliminate the unnecessary cost. At the same time, this will help you to understand the functions which is contributing to the highest cost. Then what you can do is that you can understand the highest cost contributing function. Then you can create the ideas for the highest cost contributing function. You don't need to you don't need to take all the functions for your idea. The top three functions or top four functions is contributing to the highest cost. Then you can go for idea generation.